everyone, welcome to my third GPI game. I'll try to sustain whatever energy I have. I have barely slept, but I've decided to do a full rundown of this game. So, some background to the group standings now. Has won 2 games in a row, so he's currently top in the group rankings, and I'm second in the rankings, tied for second, but winning on tiebreakers. I'm not sure how the tiebreakers work, but I am winning. Um, Yeah, so that's the background to this game. So planning for this game, I told myself is if Elysia was up, I'll pick Elysia. I just like her. Um, but she's not there, so I pick a comfort pick because I think I'm very tired. Um, yeah, and I end up picking Ilban. It's not a fantastic Ilban setup. I think going last with a green leader is pretty good. Like you can go to wealth and kind of feel okay about your turn. So that's what I plan to do. I don't stress about the other leaders. I think I know that Lito is not here, and I mean, no point worrying about what they pick. Let's just see what they pick and react to it. So combat 1 reveals, first place is a point, second place is a water. Actually, this combat actually is not one that's very important. Early points are good, however, I think sometimes they are overvalued, but let's just see how it goes. Yuna is a very good leader to pick in first position. Smuggling is very good for you. It fuels everything you want to do, almost better or almost equivalent to interstellar shipping. I think interstellar is slightly better by a hair for Yuna. As such, first position Yuna, you tend to go smuggling first and just ignore getting the spacing friendship. That is what Felk does, and I think that will cause Beast to go to full space and uh, ensure that he has interstellar access or the spacing friendship round 2. Tessia mentions to the table that she's going wealth to block me. I think maybe she has watched some of my games and understands how I play. Um, yeah, and it's a good block. However, I think with Dune also, when one action is not taken, other options open themselves up to you. So I just go to still suits and get a troop into combat. So I felt that ignores combat completely. I understand this conundrum as first player. You don't really want to put troops in as you can get covered easily, and I guess she has a diplomacy and nowhere else to go. So Beast ends up with the spacing friendship round 2 and interstellar access. I think this sets off some alarm bells on the table. Maybe Tessia would have wanted to block him round 1, but it is what it is. So Tessia puts 3 troops into combat. So that leaves me with a diplomacy in hand. I don't really want to draw a card, and hardy warriors available. I think about just leaving it as one troop, get a water, but a point is a point, and it's not too big a commitment. I already have a water, and sure, she has an intrigue behind her, but you have to just um, make them pay for it. So if they have the combat intrigue, force it out of their hand. If they don't, then you know that they don't have combat intrigue. So Liat Kynes actually reveals itself. I think this is the most notable thing about the buy round. One thing I thought to myself is that if blue didn't block me going to wealth, this Liat Kynes would be mine. So I guess it's a good block. The Imperial row is quite bad. So with 3 to buy, I just buy a liaison. Combat comes around, blue passes, and by putting in 4 troops, I get a victory point. Not the cheapest, but I think it's reasonably costed. So round 2 comes around and is the fight for Arakeen. So one thing about this fight is that it's a very good fight. The rewards are all great from first to third. I think you should get invested into this fight. So Darren goes for tech negotiators. I think he was signaling that no, he wants to buy Liat Kynes. I think this is a very bad move because the other action you're going to is shipping. You miss out on combat completely. I don't like this action. Blue thinks for quite a while and chooses to instant reveal for Liat Kynes. I think that's how highly ranked this card is. It's a win condition by itself. You buy that, you buy some fragment cards, and you're set for life. Um, is it the right choice? Is it the wrong choice? I'm not too sure. I use my signet ring to go to smuggle. One reason why this is good, it allows you to go to Mentat. It just gives you 2 Solari. So the beast ends up shipping Yuna and goes to Wealth. I end up going to Mentat. All expected. There's some weird glitches that happen during this game. I often cannot see my cards and have to ask other players to help me shuffle my cards a little bit for me to see them. So Felt in this position puts in 1 troop. The reasoning behind this move, I think, is that he knows that I have no daggers in hand, or most likely have no daggers in hand. And most, if I go to a city space, I'll put in 2 troops, and then we will tie. And I think he's okay with that. So that's why he puts in 1 troop. Most cases, I will just put in 1 troop as well, and he'll win me just by daggers alone. But unlucky for him, I end up finding my diplomacy. I think this is maybe 1 in 6 draw. Low probability chance that I'll hit it, but I do hit it. And because of that, I'm able to go to Hardy Warriors again, putting in 3 troops, covering him by 2. He shows his 2 daggers, and I buy for 5. I buy the voice is generally a good card, and I buy another liaison. One thing I know this game is that I should have kept track of my deck. Normally I can remember, but I was too tired, so it was very hard to remember. Oh no, I buy this spacing card that reveals itself. Yeah, I really don't remember. It reveals for 2 and has access that I don't have now. Felt plays 2 daggers to time me in combat. I don't really like this move. This is just denying me the point. It doesn't further his game along. I think it comes back to hurt him later on in the game. So I actually go to wealth here. The reasoning is that I kind of want to use my dagger to go Mentat the next round. But I do want to play diplomacy, and I do want to have the option to go to high console. I think I'm at high persuasion already. I can already buy a spice of slow. So that's my thought process of going wealth. So something happened this round that I didn't expect. So both green and yellow end up shipping down and taking Solari. That put me at 8. So if I thought about it properly, I would have realized that this was going to happen. But I didn't. And actually, wealth was just kind of a lucky thing to do. I ended up hitting 8 before green. Or hitting 8 in position before green. So Felt actually could have went to get his sword master earlier. I think he made a judgment call. I would say the judgment call didn't work out, but I understand why he would have wanted to do this. Maybe he wanted to play his ring. So blue harvests a lot of spice. I would take it if I could, but I don't have water. I used it all in combat. So when debating my choices of whether to sword master or round three, you might think it's the obvious one, but actually I think that a high council might be better for me in this position. I actually do want to just hit the mentat button a lot, and going for sword master actually prevents me from doing it easily. Why I end up doing it is just that it denies green sword master, and denying green sword master is enough for me to want to go to sword master. Nothing else notable really happens. One thing that Yellow did actually round one was to go to ship or interstellar shipping. So actually, he was thinking of putting it off for his second action, but he had a suspicion that Blue could somehow get access to interstellar shipping and take it from him. So he played it round one. Doesn't it worked out in his favor either way? Now he can just go to still suits, deploy three troops because of his tech. He set up very well in this game. I play the hand I'm dealt and go to card tag and draw an intrigue card. So once again, I Signet Ring to go to Wealth. This is just to get enough Solari for me to mentat. If I didn't go for Swordmaster previously, I wouldn't have to do this. Green, because he's under pressure by Yellow to go Swordmaster, goes for his Swordmaster in this round. He also has trashed quite a number of cards from his deck and has a very lean deck. So he's hoping the game will goes very long. I think one thing to note about Green's deck is even though he has trashed a lot of cards, he doesn't have very good payoffs. He doesn't have like a heavy hitter like Liet Kynes or anything. So even though he has a very thin deck, the power level of his deck is not tremendous yet. The beast takes the spice spot, gets 6 spice. I think this is the break even point for this spot actually, at +3 and not at +2. So one thing that this gives up shipping to blue. In normal circumstances, it wouldn't happen, but he had an intrigue card to enable it. So I don't blame yellow for this play. So I want to go Mentat, but the space that will most likely be blocked is full space. So I just grab full space first. Beast goes full out combat this game. He buys a Dreadnought and the tech that gives him 4 swords. He just needs a high counter at this point. Blue uses her Solari to go to High Council. So I think a lot of people value Swordmaster more, but understand your win condition. You bought Liet Kynes, all she wants to do is kind of buy Spice Muscles. And High Council does fit into this strategy. This leaves Mentat for me, so I just draw 2 cards. I'm a bit bummed out to see 8 to buy, but I mean I started with 4 to buy before that, so I actually drew 4 persuasion. Um, wouldn't have hit spice or slow either way, and I didn't draw any faction access. So I think I go to draw another intrigue card. Oh no, actually green draws an intrigue card. I just go and collect a water. I think this is better than getting another card. Another card doesn't serve much for this hand. Once again, I limp in with one troop. I value just being in combat very highly. Even if there's like quite a high cost, um, the rewards are great. No matter 1 to 3, just don't pay too much. So it's already round 5. I think looking at the positions on the board, we have yellow as a clear leader with me behind him, and then blue, then green in last place, still at their 1 point. I think yellow still looks poised to do very well in this game. Assuming he can take down some combats, the game should be quite easy for him. So there's some interesting things that happened this round. Beast doesn't go to interstellar shipping. I think this is a mistake. However, I understand why he wants to do this. He wants to get his high council so that he can put troops in and take down this combat easily. Blue does something else on the other hand. Blue goes and does selective breeding. So I think when you have a powerful card like Leah Kanzi in the deck, this is always a good action. I think probably will enable him to buy a spice of slow this round. I value access cards, and full space is an access card. Access cards go to faction spaces, and so I go to wealth. This leaves shipping right open for green, so green just takes it. Yellow counts how many troops he needs to deploy to win. He just needs to put in a few troops. The dreadnought and the swords from tech should win him the combat. So blue does a good blocking play here. I don't think he planned for it, but he did it. I think he probably wants to buy a tech, so he just goes to this spot so he can buy it next round. Um, but that does block me out of shifting allegiances, and I'm a bit annoyed from it. It was a +1 spot. Not very valuable. So one reason why I'm spice low this game is because I chose to go Hardy Warriors early. That results in my game being very low spice, and the reason I didn't get my full rewards for it is because Green fought me for it. So I think because of that, we are both a little bit behind in that sense. So I know I want to use my diplomacy card, but I don't really have any other card to use. In that case, I choose to go to research station first. I I feel my precision is high enough and my deck has enough two precision reveals for me to buy a Spice Must Flow. So I just go to research station. I'm also enabled by the tech hunt hand to put a troop in. I can put in a dreadnought now. I don't probably won't have to worry about troops for a while. I end up going to spacing because it draws me a card. I don't really need the card, but I want to cycle through my deck to get back to these cards. So that's why I play that card. I already have enough for Spice Must Flow. Combat resolves, and I'm very happy with second place for this Dreadnought. That comes back to me. I think it's round 6. Yellow goes back to shipping. If he went shipping the previous round, he would be coming down, but now he's just going up. So as expected, Tessia buys a tech that gets her 2 faction bumps. When you're playing a Spice Monster deck, normally you have very few faction cards, so you do need to hit those faction breakpoints, which is just friendship mostly, and any cheap alliance. With Tessia, it's even easier to do because you get 2 free bumps. I sent my ring to go smuggle again. I think I was a bit on autopilot. If I think about this back, I probably would have used a Dune Desert Planet instead. But I didn't think the whole action through, and I think I got caught up in the end. So once again, green takes a mandate for me. This feels like a blocking play. I don't think it furthers her game too much. It's also quite cheap for her, but it blocks me mostly. So I see that green has no position on high council, but has no Solari for it. As such, I believe I can go to get high council this round, and I plan to buy a Spice Flow. To enable that, I go to research station. Beast ends up getting Sword Master round 6. I I guess if you have access to Solari, okay. But it's at a quite a high cost, and for maybe one or two actions. So blue is just playing a very typical Spice on Slow game. You just try to hit 9 every round, and with multiple 2 persuasion cards in deck, you just kind of go tech negotiators, and with your high counter is enough. Then you just take the best reward you can with your other action. So all the moments in the game, I feel that this is the moment that lost me the game. Um, I think I only have 2 dead cards in deck. So I just need to draw 1 persuasion in order for me to buy a Spice of Slow. But I end up hitting a Dune card, and I end up hitting a Spice of Slow card, and end up hitting a dagger. So this puts me at 8 persuasion, and it's very, very painful. I tell the table that I think I lost the game with this action, and eventually show them why. So a point round 1 might be cheap with 4 troops. However, when it comes to round 5 and 6, any point that is available in combat normally becomes a lot more expensive. As such, I think Feldev decides to give himself some insurance and throw more troops in. Yellow does a very sus play with rapid mobilization for 1. This already gives him 8 swords with the swords he revealed, which is very strong. I think he should have a combat card in hand. I show them my hand, and we all count to 8 together. So Felkner's response is to throw in even more troops to secure the win. So at the beginning of round 7, I think beginning of round 6, 7, and 8, you should always ask yourself the question, can the game end this round? And if the game can end this round, what should you do about it? So I do some major misplays here. I think that only I can go highliner, and because I have some troops in garrison compared to everyone else, I should be quite safe for first place. This is a total miscalculation on my part. As such, I play my turn so that other players will not be incentivized to go to the spice spots early, so they do not put pressure on the highliner spot. This would probably enable me to buy a spice must flow and go for a highliner win. I think about it for very long. I wanted to do the greedy play of to just draw an intrigue. Maybe that would further my game plan as well. But I choose this option as um, I think it leaves me the option to go to highliner on second action as well, even if someone were to take spice. I majorly miscount what strength yellow can put in just by going to research station. I guess that's one of the reasons why Beast is very strong. This really came from nowhere. So after Beast draws a research station, I feel like the game will definitely end this round. Reasoning being that he has so many cards in hand, he has high council, he should be able to buy a Spice on Slow. So after drawing two, I have enough for a Spice on Flow. Assuming I play Diplomacy. Yeah. So that's what I intend to do. Play Diplomacy. I wanted to go to Highliner as that would set me up for a win. However, just by going to research station, Yellow's able to put in a massive amount of troops. And at the current strength I have, I'll just be behind him by 2 swords. I'll be in front of him by 2 swords. And with the cards he has in deck, I presume he has a lot of daggers. He'll surely have enough daggers to beat me. I have no path to win this combat. So green makes a play to stop the leader. So one thing I don't like about this is that he's currently in last place. Stopping the leader should be something that you should leave to the second and third place. As the last place position, all you should be doing is just scrounging for points, just trying to avoid the last place. Let second and third position kind of jockey for the first position and try to pull down the first player. So with the knowledge that yellow might end the game, I just set myself up to score as many points as possible, and I still have one friendship lacking, and with a quick proco, I should be able to get it. So I go to secrets. So on my reveal, I buy a Spice Moss Flow because I'm at 9, and also I use Quick Proco. I would not have liked to use it now. I think there are better spots to use it at, but the reason I use it is yellow can end the game, so I've begrudgingly play it. I have the option to play two swords to get myself into combat. Uh, that would put me in front of blue. I think about it, but because of it being a tier 3 combat, next round I choose to keep in hand. It's a powerful card. Um, and I hedge my bets that it'll be more important the next round. So once again at round 8, you study the board position. Two players at 9, both red and yellow, which are me and the Beast. Tessia's at 8 and Yuna's at 5. Honestly, I don't mind the game ending last round or this round. Either way, because Felt is leading the group, him getting last place would substantially affect his ranking. So I actually don't mind the current results. But because the game drags one more round, anything can happen. The game will definitely end this round. I don't see how it will go to round 9. So I actually spent quite a bit of time thinking on this turn. What stands out to me is spaceports. Spaceports should allow me to get Spice Must Flow. I can even do that on Tech Negotiator or get a Dreadnought. I think both are fine actions. In the end, I choose to go to Highliner. The reasoning is that this conflict is terrible for anyone who has an alliance. In this case, it is blue and red. I guess because green and yellow are fighting for it, so it matters to them. So actually, everyone kind of wants this combat, and it kind of matters to everyone. And losing it might you lose your point, and this swing can affect your ranking by quite a fair bit. So I choose to go to Highliner as I feel that I can put in this investment quite cheaply. Reasoning is on the back of it. I have enough water to go to research station, and no one else has enough water. So this is why I make this play. So green ends up stealing yellow's alliance, and this comes up as relevant. Blue ends up buying spaceport with the spice that he has. I think drawing cards for Spice of Slow strategy, nothing seems out of place. So on my turn, I choose not to Mentat because I want the option to go Tech Negotiators. Not Tech Negotiators, to go get a Dreadnought. So I just choose to go to Research Station first and plan out my turn. So yellow actually takes 2 of the 3 actions he has to get a friendship in the Emperor. This gives him a point. It's good. Now you see blue with spare persuasion, and with spare persuasion you play the best card for your best reward. She can get a point by just getting the friendship, so that's what she does. My turn is more or less set. I want to put enough strength in combat to win the combat. I think winning combat gives me another point, so I do want to win that. But at the same point in time, I also am fishing for some sort of other points, some miracle points. So we're looking at intrigues. So I choose to not go to Kartek. Reasoning is that if yellow has war chest, this will enable his war chest. It's a small probability that it happens, but it might happen, and I do not want to be the one to do it. So in the end, I just buy a Dreadnought, and because I have second wave inside my hand, and I double check the card in the text, I can put in a Dreadnought as well. So this will also count to 3 strength into the combat. So one misplay I do here, it's small, but it might have won me the game. I'm not sure what green drew for his intrigue. Um, I choose not to trash a Sonic Snoopers. I just forgot about it. I think I had draw a card in hand, and like, okay, this is the last round anyway. Just draw the card. Whereas what I should have done is I should have just trashed the Sonic Snoopers to cycle this one intrigue. It might have given me the spice needed. So the round plays out. Everyone kind of dumps troops into combat. Everyone tries to buy a spice fast flow. I think in this scenario, both green and yellow are not able to buy spice fast flows. So this is based on the cards that they bought. A lot of one cost cards, one persuasion cards. Um, yeah, and it's coming back to bite them. So at the end of combat, I'm at 11 points, which is ahead of everyone. Blue reveals a endgame point. This is buying 3 tech cards. You can't really plan around it, and with that, he wins me on Solari tiebreakers. I'm a bit sad about it, but I'm quite happy with the results. It was a fun game. It was a fun table, especially. I think having a good table helps and really makes the game fun. Some tables are just stressful, but this was a fun game. Okay, so on reflection of this game, I think I made 2 major mistakes. The first major mistake was I didn't trash Sonic Snooper. So I didn't trash Sonic Snooper round at the end of the game. That could have given me enough spice to win on a spice tiebreaker. My second major mistake this game was on round 7. I miscounted how many swords yellow could have put in. I underestimated that he could have put in so many swords, and so I drew a line to victory through highliner, and only halfway through my turn I realized that um, it will not get me there. This is an oversight on my part. I think luck does play a important factor in this game. Um, if I hit the spice must slow earlier in the game would have ended on round 7 either way. I think missing that made me miss out on victory, and I know it, but it happens. Bit sad, but what to do. So congrats to Torzalan if you stayed through it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this commentary. If you do like it, do like, comment, and subscribe. Yep. See you around.